So this may sound like a strange combination, NASA and the U.S. Postal Service, but the result is actually something pretty cool. They collaborated to release a series of stamps that deal with the science of the sun, they say. The series shows images of the sun using different wavelengths of light, something we don't see normally. NASA scientist Dr. Alex Young says the images tell a story that would otherwise go unnoticed.
Well, we're looking at different views of the sun in different wavelengths of light. Some of them are visible light, the kind of light that we see with our own eyes, but most of them are what we call extreme ultraviolet, a type of light that doesn't make it through the atmosphere, and so we have to put telescopes into space. And depending on the wavelength of light, we can see different features on the sun. We see huge structures in the solar atmosphere. We can see big explosions, things called solar flares or coronal mass ejections. And that's why we like to look at it in all these different wavelengths, because we get a much more complete picture of what's going on in the sun.
So the series is being released just in time for this weekend's summer solstice, and he explained.
Earth is orbiting around the sun. It actually has a tilt. And so that means that depending on where it is during its year-long orbit, some parts of the Earth are facing towards the sun and some are facing away from the sun, meaning that they get more or less light at different times of the year, and that gives us the seasons: summer, spring, winter, and fall.
By the way, the stamp set that you see there, they are forever stamps, which means they never lose their value no matter what the cost of a stamp goes to. And the images on the stamps were taken by NASA's Solar Dynamics Observatory. They say that the NASA Solar Observing Telescope there that produced the images, they really allow the scientists to examine our closest star with incredible detail that we can't get through our atmosphere. So I asked you on Facebook, who or what would you put on a commemorative stamp set? Lots of good answers here. MD Moore says probably not feasible, but if the USPS could create regional stamps like the Jefferson Pilot Building, which is now Lincoln Financial, the Carolina Theater, maybe even back to the Carolina Cougars in the ABA. He says, I'm sure there are things that people feel are important and interesting in their parts of the country. Don said old classic cars, Mustangs, Camaros, Chargers, Furies, Trans Am. I would agree with that. Candace said Walt Disney and all the characters he created over his lifetime. I love all things Disney. That man had a marvelous vision. Michael had my favorite comment of the day. A Stamey's barbecue stamp. You lick it and the stamp tastes like barbecue. You win, Michael.
Yeah, I would actually lick the stamp.
What if we did flavor stamps?
Yeah.
That would be
Cotton
awesome.
candy flavor, strawberry flavor.
They had like lemon, citrus, and...
Well, I like it.
Stamps are stickers now. You don't have to lick them anymore.
Yeah, but you would
also,
on
like,
those.
the mail carriers, if they want to touch something we've licked, even with the envelope, I usually tape it.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I don't lick it because I don't want them to have to
Well, that
touch
stuff
my
tastes
spit.
horrible.
It does. It's like, ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I said I would like an Eric Chilton series of stamp. I see that my comment was not included in this selection.
Yes, I did not use that on purpose.
Well,
What, do
I'm
you have like
offended.
different faces and stuff?
The different eras
It'd be me
of
through the
Chilton,
years.
Oh, okay.
honestly,
Yes.
because I really appreciate my vintage Eric Chilton magnet
The
on my
throwbacks.
desk.
Oh my gosh.
I think a lot of viewers at home would
need to
probably
show
buy
that.
those stamps.
We need to show that horrible. There's a series of
No.
magnets from when I first started here. My hair was about that big, had its own zip code.
I'm just jealous of the volume you had. How do I, like, what do I do to
Voluminous.
get that?
Give us your tips
Well, to that
for the volume.
Yeah.
product.
Product.
Actually,
Okay.
product tames mine. Otherwise, it would be all
Aquanet?
like this. Yes.
Yeah.
Aquanet.
Yeah.
We're going way back now. All right.